Hi, hello. My name is Muhammad SHAUKI bin ARIFFIN, and today I will be introducing you to the world of CSR or corporate social responsibility and impacts of it in the international markets. So first and foremost, let's ask ourselves this question: what is CSR or corporate social responsibility? By definition, it is a concept whereby a business takes part in voluntary activities that contribute back to society, environment, and stakeholders. Next up, we ask ourselves, why do we need CSR? Well, the main push for the need for CSR toward businesses is that society deems that businesses should bear responsibility of not just taking care on the opinion of their shareholders, the financials and so on and so forth, towards the company and their shareholders, but also towards the employees, the customers, and communities and the environment also. Basically, the people all around them that affects them. Next, we ask ourselves, what's the history of this CSR? Well, CSR was birthed during the 18th century, and it was usually an activity done by wealthy individual philanthropists or businessmen to help improve the welfare of the community and by building education institutions like schools, universities, and parks and utilities for the greater benefit of the community. And all of this is done without most of the time without any payback. They just freely give back to the community. But we fast forward back into the future, which is during the mid 20th century. This began the rise of the so-called corporate philanthropy, which not only uses the initiative to give back to society, but is used as a means to improve public image and popularity. This would then shape into the mainstream method of CSR done by businesses today. So not only just you do normal CSR to give back to society, but you would do CSR to give to bring benefit to the company itself also. Well, what about let's ask ourselves, what about CSR now today? Well, we can see that there's two main points for CSR today. One of them is that it shines a bright spotlight on the company, and it's also a slippery road. Well, what is the slippery road? Well, we can get into it right now. In the digital age where cloud and media can easily shine a bright spotlight to anyone in any corner of the world, CSR has become a go-to way for businesses to change public opinions towards the company. This is none other shown in the international trade market, where companies must go through a fine and complex landscape of commerce and ensuring social sensitivity is within boundaries to ensure a steady and long-term growth of the company, especially when venturing into foreign markets. And for this video, we will be presenting about three main things, which is the impact of CSR towards the public relations, the impact of CSR in improving credibility and competitiveness, and lastly, the impact of CSR in reducing supply chain risk. And that will be all for me. Thank you.
CSR for building public relations. CSR can indeed play a significant role in building public relations for a company. When an organization demonstrates its commitment to social and environmental issues through CSR initiatives, it can contribute to enhance the brand image, positive media coverage, boost stakeholder engagement, competitive advantage, which can help the company stand out from its competitors, and it can act as a crisis management and reputation repair. For example, Tom's Footwear Company. They are known with one-for-one program, which is for every pair of shoes purchased, they donate a pair of shoes to a child in need. This has been a great impact to the Tom's international trade, such as boost their brand reputation, market access, and a lot of collaborations and partnership and meeting market expectation.
CSR for improving credibility and sustainability against other competitors. First, enhancing reputation. CSR may benefit an organization by recruiting and maintaining outstanding employees who are driven by environmental and social reasons. Organizations that show their dedication to CSR are usually viewed as more appealing workplace to work in, especially by younger generations who place a greater priority on social responsibility compared to older generations. CSR can help an organization avoid negative media coverage and possible legal issues. Organizations may minimize the possibility of undesirable media coverage or legal proceedings from regulatory agencies by actively dealing with environmental and social problems. The second one is collaborations and partnerships. Organizations that actively engage in CSR usually have advantages over resources that will be advantageous for other organizations. For example, an organization with extensive knowledge and expertise in sustainable company techniques is capable of giving advice and assistance to non-profit or governmental organizations that are attempting to strengthen their sustainability operations.
Hello and good day to Madam Farida and my fellow friends. Today I'm going to talk about the third impact of CSR in international trade, which contribute to the mitigation of supply chain risk. First of all, CSR leads to mitigations of supply chain risk in international trade through various mechanisms and practices. Most of the multinational companies are concerned on their risk assessment, which adhere to proactive risk mitigation practices when involved of international trade from diverse regions and different culture and understanding. And we can know that there are a great number of multinational companies that take a proactive approach to risk mitigation in which they are develop strategies and policies to address identified risks and implement measures to prevent or minimize their impact. For example, Unilever is a consumer goods company that operates globally and has made significant efforts to integrate CSR into its business practices. The company's Sustainable Living Plan, which is a comprehensive CSR strategy that focuses on three main areas which emphasize on improving health and well-being, reducing environmental impact, and enhancing livelihood. Secondly, CSR in international trade has brought to a comprehensive of important measurements compliance with legal and regulatory requirements that has been highly engaged by the top-level management within any organization. Global companies that engage in international trade, which it is unavoidable to the involve of CSR practices linked to the mitigation of supply chain risks. For example, Nike company has implemented various CSR initiatives to address supply chain risks and ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Nike has a comprehensive supplier code of conduct that outlines the standards and expectations for its suppliers. The code covers areas such as the labor rights, the health and safety, the environmental sustainability, and ethical business practices. Thirdly is that CSR has greatly enhanced supply chain resilience of any organization in international trade. CSR practices encourage companies to proactively identify and assess risks within their supply chain by considering social, environmental, and ethical factors. This enables them to implement risk mitigation strategies such as diversifying suppliers, implementing contingency plans, or investing in alternative sourcing options. By addressing risk upfront, companies enhance the resilience of their supply chain and reduce the potential impact of disruptions on international trade. For example, Walmart has implemented several CSR initiatives to enhance supply chain resilience and mitigate risk. Walmart utilized the advanced technology and the data analytics to enhance supply chain visibility and risk management, such as the blockchain and the advanced analytics tool to track and monitor its supply chain operation. Lastly, the impact of CSR in international trade also improves stakeholder relations of any organization. CSR initiatives contribute to building trust and fostering collaboration with stakeholders involved in the supply chain. By actively engaging with stakeholders such as customers, suppliers, local committees, and the NGOs, company can actually develop strong relationships based on mutual understanding, shared value, and open communication. For example, Nestle has implemented various CSR initiatives to enhance the stakeholder relations and address supply chain risks. The company engaged with NGO, industry associations, governments, and the local communities to foster dialogue, share best practices, and develop collaborative solutions.
CSR initiatives can have a significant impact on cost reduction and cost savings in international trade, particularly in the long term. Companies that implement sustainable and socially responsible practices can benefit from cost savings in multiple ways. First, through resource efficiency. CSR initiatives often focus on reducing resource consumption and waste generation. By implementing more efficient operational practices, companies can reduce their production costs, save energy, and conserve natural resources. Second is through the improved supply chain management. By ensuring that suppliers adhere to ethical standards, companies can avoid costly disruptions at their supply chain, such as recalls or product defects. Thus, this can help a lot in cost savings and cost reduction. Next, through the brand reputation. A positive brand reputation as a socially responsible company can attract customers and investors who are willing to pay for a premium price for a product. This can increase revenue and reduce the overall marketing costs. Lastly, by prioritizing CSR and implementing sustainable business practices, companies can avoid legal and regulatory costs in the long run. By adhering to regulations laid out by governments or international organizations, companies can avoid such legal penalties, which helps to reduce legal and regulatory costs.
To conclude, I think it can be summarized from all our presentation is that CSR has a big impact, very big impact that no company should ever ignore, or else they do ignore, they will be facing consequences such as having a bad business, bad no only a short-term lifespan for the business, no barely any growth, small growth, and it will be not successful over the long term. So I think it can be said that yes, CSR is very important and should be always be prioritized in any business. I think that should be all. And I'm Mohammed SHAUKI bin Mohammed ARIFFIN, and I would like to thank you for watching our video on our presentation. Thank you.